यूपीएससी प्रेपलैब, आपकी तैयारी हमारी जिम्मेदारी।
Hello students, very good evening. Welcome to UPSC Preplab of Nirnay IAS. Do you know the importance of prelims for UPSC? Everyone who is preparing for this exam might be knowing it. Unless and until we crack prelims, we are not going to be in the mains. It's simple. But in prelims, the subject that carries decent amount of weightage and where we can maintain highest accuracy, we can expect the questions, we can expect highest accuracy is polity. So, one of the simple way to prepare polity, for that sake, any of the other subjects of UPSC for prelims is knowing the previous year questions, nature of the questions, where they are asking from, and knowing the answers for that is very, very important. It is always said that the previous year questions are the whispers of success mantra of UPSC towards the students. So they are the whispers. We have to just catch it and become successful. This is the thing. So with this, we are coming with the previous year questions of polity at UPSC Preplab. This is Dhanunjay Reddy coming out with 2025 prelims polity questions. So before going into that, so this is the thing that we are going to have it. Prelims 2025 previous year questions analysis with the detailed explanations. Let's have an understanding about. They are saying Indian polity say referencing what are the statements. An ordinance can amend any central law. So by ordinance, you can amend any central law. An ordinance can abridge a fundamental right. An ordinance can come into effect from a back date. So in this context, they are asking which of the following statements are correct. Which of the following statements are correct. Now have a look at it. Ordinance making power is given to the President of India under Article 123. Under Article 213, it is given to Governor of State. So Governor as well as President can make it. Now this is the legislative powers of Governor as well as President. A President का और a मुद्दा Governor का. Now on which areas the ordinance can be made by the respective heads? That you have to know. Through ordinance, ordinance is similar to the law making power. Ordinance is similar to the law making power of Parliament or state legislature. Lekin why they have given this ordinance making power? It is very well known fact according to the Constitution that Parliament will not be in session throughout the year. Neither the state legislatures will be in session throughout the year. Whenever the Parliament is not in session, that is both the houses of Parliament are not in session, or the legislatures, be it a single house or bicameral legislature, whenever they are not in session, you can go with promulgation of ordinance or proclamation of ordinances. This is the reason why you have. So, President or Governor ordinance making power is on everything that the Parliament can make. On everything that the Parliament can make. So, just like it is a law making power of Parliament. An ordinance can amend any central act. Yes, you can amend any central act because Parliament has made that act and Parliament has the right to amend that. So जो भी Parliament का power है, वो power ordinance का भी होता है. So this is the first one. An ordinance can amend any central act. True. An ordinance can abridge the fundamental rights. This is very, very important. Just by having an ordinance making power, the President and Governor cannot take away the fundamental rights. Cannot take away the fundamental rights. Why? If you look at amendment of the fundamental rights, amendment तो हो सकता है, लेकिन ordinance की process से तरफ से नहीं. If you want to amend the constitution or fundamental rights, so if you want to amend it, Article 368 has to come into effect. This is constituent power, constitution amendment power of Parliament that is not there in the ordinance making power. So this is wrong. Ordinance cannot abridge your fundamental rights. An ordinance can come into effect from a back date. Yes, an ordinance can come into effect from a back date just like any act of Parliament. So which of the following statements are correct? 1 and 3. Now one thing that you have to remember is not only the answer, what is the underlying theme of it? Article 368 को समझ होना है सभी लोगों को. Along with this, you should understand ordinance making power, when President can make ordinance, when Governor can make ordinance according to Article 123, 213. And whether ordinance making power or normal power of Parliament is equal to the constituent amendment of power of parliament. So there is some difference. Parliament has two powers, legislative power under Article 13. However, the legislation should not be against the fundamental right. This is the thing. So Parliament has two things, legislative power and constitutional amendment power. जो भी legislative powers है, वो ordinance powers है. So president can make the same thing or governor can make the same thing. This is the thing that you have to understand. So second option is incorrect. Second option is incorrect. बहुत आसान क्वेश्चन था ये, बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन. Provided that you understand what are the powers that Parliament of India, that is your Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha possesses whenever they are passing a constitution amendment bill, whenever they passes a constitutional amendment bill. So president can make any amendment to any ordinance as far as Parliament's legislative power is considered. But Parliament का एक और power था, that is Constitution amendment का power, वो President का नहीं है और Governor का नहीं है. So if you want to amend the Constitution, there is a procedure under Article 368. You have to follow that procedure. The power and procedure was mentioned there. यही procedure से हम लोग करना है, ordinance से नहीं हो सकता है. So if you want to abridge the fundamental right, you can abridge. I am not saying that you cannot abridge. You can abridge the fundamental rights. For example, right to property was abridged into a so-called constitutional right or statutory right today. This is through a process that was mentioned in Article 368. But here what they are saying, President has that power through ordinance or Governor has. This is absolutely wrong. This is absolutely wrong. And दूसरी तरफ से कैसा कर सकते हैं ये? Now look at it. Ordinance making power is for two people. President का भी है, Governor का भी है. Now, if you want to amend the constitution, state governments cannot do it. State legislatures cannot amend your constitution, by the way. If you know that, तो जब भी state legislature का वो power नहीं था, how can governor get it? As simple as it. At least if you apply with that logic also, you can get to it. But these are the things that you should know. So the answer is, ladies and gentlemen, 1 and 3 ये answer था. So this is the question and this is the explanation that we have given. Next one, they are asking you, with reference to the government of India, consider the following. So they have given some laws and they are saying that who is administering it. So Enforcement Directorate or Directorate of Enforcement, normally we call it as ED. DRI, Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. Now they have said what are the functions of it. A very trivial question, not a regular question. So people who have prepared this might have answered this. Otherwise, this is a difficult question because they have not given 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. They have given how many of the above quotes are correct. So they asked only 1, only 2, but this is a difficult question in the exam. Let's have a look at it. This is a post-mortem analysis that the students have to learn and remember for the next exam. The President's ordinance making power. Have a look at it. Row 1 is incorrect because Enforcement Directorate enforces PMLA, FEMA, Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018, but it functions under, now you have to remember, Directorate of Enforcement functions under Ministry of Finance. Majority of the people will do wrong. People think that Enforcement Directorate एक police wing की तरफ से काम करता है, इसलिए वो Ministry of Home Affairs हो सकता है. People will think in that way, but this is the wrong thing. It comes under Ministry of Finance. So first statement itself what they gave is wrong. Second one, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence is the apex anti-smuggling agency. Now Directorate of Revenue Intelligence क्या देखते हैं? Customs Act. For example, you might be seeing in some movies what it will be there. There will be some smuggled goods. Customs officers will come to the so-called airport. Who are these people? These people are from DRI. So Customs Act की तरफ से वो रेगुलेट करते हैं. So this is under again Ministry of Finance. वो भी Ministry of Finance का ही है. Next, Directorate General of Systems and Data Management provides IT and data support for Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. ये क्या था? Now, Income Tax Department में 2 wings है, Central Board of Direct Taxes, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBID, CBIC. Now they will be collecting the information about the so-called taxpayers, who has paid the tax, who has not paid the tax, or जो भी information का काम है, that will be working under Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. So that is under again Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance. So these are the three things that was given in the question paper. So Enforcement Directorate. So this question is easy for those serious candidates because they have given organization and the department under it works. ED, I said it is not under Ministry of Home Affairs, it is under Ministry of Finance. Those who have attended our economics class, we have covered this. Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, I said Ministry of Finance, this is correct. Directorate of Systems and Data Management, this is correctly matched. But you have to look at this also. So anyhow, this is wrong, though it looks at it, this is wrong. Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, it enforces the provisions of Customs Act, this is correct. Directorate General of Systems and Data Management, carrying out big data analytics to assist to tax officials for better policy and nabbing up tax evaders. This is the thing. So these two are correct. So again, what to learn from here? You have to learn just two things. Kaisa question frame kar diya. And second thing that you should know is, if they ask again this type of questions, you have to be prepared. Ministry of Finance में क्या क्या investigative agencies था? You have Enforcement Directorate, you have this one that is called DRI, and then you have Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. वो तीन organizations, investigative departments of Ministry of Finance, under which act you have to remember. So this is to prepare for repetitive type of questions, right? This is one thing that you have to understand. Third question, consider the following page, and they have given the state formations and the description. Arunachal Pradesh, the capital is named after a fort, and the state has 2 national parks. Nagaland came into existence on the base of a constitutional amendment act. Tripura, it is initially a part state and it became centrally administered territory in 1946. After later it has attained statehood. Again, a very trivial question. In what sense? The options that they have given is merging of 2 or 3, and they have asked how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. ये भी ऐसा क्वेश्चन था. So let's have a look at Arunachal Pradesh का. If you look at Arunachal Pradesh, ladies and gentlemen, Arunachal Pradesh capital is Itanagar. सभी लोगों को वो मालूम होता है कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश का कैपिटल ईटानगर था. Now, how this name was derived? It is named from a fort. एक किला था उधर. That fort is ईटा. ईटा का नाम से एक किला था अरुणाचल प्रदेश में. This is based on that fort. This is based on that fort, ईटा का. And then it has 2 national parks. It has 2 national parks. This is a very well-known statement. Namdafa, because Namdafa flying squirrel is famous here, as well as you have Mauling National Park. So 2 national park तो है, सभी लोगों को ये होता है, but the thing is fort इधर है, तो ईटा का fort के नाम से ये ले लिया. This is correct. Second one is Nagaland became a separate state in the year 1962 according to 13th Constitutional Amendment Act. According to 13th Constitutional Amendment Act, वो आपको मालूम होना है. ये भी easy question था, because if you look at Article 371A, special provisions regarding to some states, this is providing special provisions for the state of Nagaland. As a result, this is important. The last one is Tripura was indeed a part of Part C. So what is this Part C? When Britishers were ruling this country, they have divided the territories into Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. It was in the year 1956, after State Reorganization Act was passed, we have reframed this Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D into states and union territories. तो वही तरफ से क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया था. So this is again directly from the basic book that they have asked. So if you look at it, Tripura was initially a Part C state. Now Tripura was initially a Part C state. Now क्या हुआ later on? After that, Tripura became the so-called Tripura became a central administered territory, that is an union territory. Later on, it attained the statehood. So if you look at Tripura का evolution, जो भी Tripura का evolution हो गया, so Tripura first it became an UT, later it became a state. जो भी यूनियन टेरिटरीज उसी समय में था वो पार्ट सी का यूनियन टेरिटरीज, पार्ट सी में यूटीज था उसी समय ब्रिटिश की समय में. तो इसलिए दे आर सेइंग दैट आफ्टर 1956 दे वर कन्वर्टेड इनटू सेंट्रली एडमिनिस्ट्रेटेड टेरिटरीज एंड देन इट अटेन्ड स्टेटहुड. सो 3 इज करेक्ट. Nagaland is through Constitutional Amendment Act, 13th Constitutional Amendment Act. and Tripura is named after a fort known as Itanagar is named after a fort known as Ita, and it has Namdafa flying squirrel, Namdafa as well as Mauling national parks. These are the things that is important. Later on, next question, let's go for the fourth question. The Constitution of India explicitly mentions that in certain spheres, the governor of the state can act in his or own discretion. मतलब क्या था? Explicitly means there should be this one. Explicitly means constitution should have that written in some parts of it. So from Article 1 said, Article 395 tak, you have to find somewhere these words. Governor of the state can act in his own or her in his own or her own discretion. A first clause tha, President of India of his or her own resolve a bill passed by the state legislature for his consideration without it being forwarded by the governor of a state. Matlab, they are speaking about discretionary powers of president and governor, and they are asking how a normal bill can be passed in the parliament and state legislature. Now, if you look at it, first one, if you look at the first statement that this one says, you have to remember two articles, Article 74, President, and Article 163, Governor. These two are very, very important. Now, Article 74, what it says, ladies and gentlemen, Article 74 says, there shall be Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise the President, who shall act in accordance to that advice. Who shall act in accordance to that advice. However, 44th Constitutional Amendment gave one provision that is called President can send it for reconsideration. If that is reconsidered and against it, he has to be following it. So, President of India, jo bhi hai, Constitution is saying that they shall act, President shall act according to the advice tendered by Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. President का कोई discretionary powers Constitution नहीं दे रहा हूं इधर. जो भी discretionary powers President का है, वो situation में आते हैं. For example, if the Prime Minister who is in chair has suddenly passed away, after the elections, no party has got the majority required to form the government. These are the two situations where president can enjoy presidential discretion, but constitution itself is not giving some discretionary powers to president. This is very, very important in India. That is the reason president should listen to the aid and advice of council of ministers headed by the prime minister. Sometimes people will be saying president of India ek rubber stamp tha. Why we come across these type of statements? Rubber stamp in the sense he has to stamp whatever these people are saying. This is the meaning. Rubber stamp ka matlab ye tha, but not to use formally. Informally, you will be hearing these things. This is the thing, because they have to listen. But yaisa provision governor mein nahi tha. What Article 163 says, there is Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister to aid and advise governor, who shall listen to that advice except in so far as his discretions apply. So Constitution, if you look at Article 163, there is a clear mention that governor can act in his own discretion. This is according to Article 163. That is the major dispute, Yesterday also Supreme Court of India has said that, or High Court of Madras has said that, जब भी cabinet committee or cabinet, that is Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister, is passing a recommendation to the governor on remission of a convict, he has to listen to it. मतलब गवर्नर का कुछ डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर्स दे रहा हूं, कौन दे रहा हूं ये डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर्स? दैट इज गिवन बाय कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. हेंस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन गिव्स डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर्स टू गवर्नर, that is called constitutional discretions. Along with this, he also exercises situational discretions. As a result, governor of a state has more discretionary powers than president. President का discretionary powers situations में ही होता है, but not constitution का. So, but governor both it is applied. Hence, this is there. The president of India on his own resolve a bill passed by the state legislature for her consideration or his consideration without being forwarded it to the so-called, without being forwarded it by governor of the state. इनका मतलब क्या था? Whenever the state legislature is passing a bill, say the state has two houses, legislative assembly, legislative council, Now it is passing the bill according to Article 200. If it is passing to assent of the governor, governor can either give the assent, either can return the bill, or can reject the bill. This is Article 200. और 201 का भी article था. What it says? It says that the governor can also reserve a bill for the President of India. So how President of India will come in contact with the so-called the bill that is passed by the state legislature? This is through a process था. Route ऐसा होना ही है. Now what is the question? The President of India on his own reserve a bill passed by the state legislature for his consideration without being forwarded. You can bypass governor and president can do it. No, Constitution में ऐसा नहीं था. Constitution says governor has to present. लेकिन एक बार गवर्नर से बिल रिजर्व हुआ अंडर आर्टिकल 201 एंड प्रेसिडेंट हैज टेकन इट, देन यू कैन नेग्लेक्ट गवर्नर. बट पहली बार जो भी बिल स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर से it is going on, so from the state legislature it can reach president only through governor. Now the question is saying that you can bypass the governor and president can take it. That is not there in the constitution. So second statement is wrong statement, first statement is correct statement. This is the one. So ये provisions article 111 का provisions है and 201. So this is again a very simple question that we can expect. Next, एक बहुत ही आसान का क्वेश्चन था ये. Very simple way where you can go and you can get to 2 marks. It is like gulab jam in the exam hall, right? Which question? Fundamental duties क्या था, fundamental rights क्या था, directive principles क्या था, preamble क्या था. Any serious candidate who have joined our series, we made them to prepare from preamble to article 51A तक रट्टा मारना है, and we have set the simple process to prepare in our class. So that is what they are asking. So DPSPs क्या था, provisions, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज क्या था, फंडामेंटल राइट्स क्या था. यू शुड नो आर्टिकल 12 टू आर्टिकल 35 फंडामेंटल राइट्स का था. ये फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज आर्टिकल 51A, डीपीएसपी आर्टिकल 36 से आर्टिकल 51 तक था. तो एवरीवन शुड बी नोइंग इट because every year this is a simple question that they will be asking. Now question क्या था, separation of judiciary from the executive in public services. Which article guys? Article 50. Separation of judiciary from executive is a directive principles of state policy. Yes, this is correct. Value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. This is, yes, 51A F of Indian Constitution says about value our rich heritage composite culture. A fundamental duty tha, absolutely. Prohibition of employment of children below the age of 14 years in factories. Traffic children, article 24, 25. Prohibition of traffic, prohibition of children in the employment. And below 14 years of age. This is article 25. So this is a fundamental right. बहुत आसान की question था. 3 statements are correctly matched. So how many are pages are correctly matched? All the 3 are correctly matched here. So the answer for this question will be all the 3 are correct. All the 3 are correct. So this is what it is. 51AF, article 50, article 24 and 25. Next, with reference to the so-called article 23-24, not 24-25, article 23-24 tha wo. So 24 speaks about it. Next, with reference to the Constitution of India, if a state is declared as a scheduled area under the 5th schedule, first thing is who can declare a state as a scheduled area state? President. President can declare an area as a scheduled area. Then the state government loses its executive power in such areas and the local body assumes total administration. मतलब क्या था? If in a state, if some area is designated as a scheduled area by the president under section schedule 5 of Indian Constitution, then it is saying that state executives का power जो भी है वो अप्लाई नहीं होता है. स्टेट एग्जीक्यूटिव मींस, टेक फॉर एग्जांपल देयर वाज ए क्राइम व्हिच हैज हैपेंड इन द शेड्यूल्ड एरिया. जब भी एक ऑफेंस होता है स्टेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तरफ से पुलिस आते हैं, राइट? पुलिस विल कम. नाउ इट इज सेइंग दैट पुलिस कैन नॉट गो टू दैट अथॉरिटी. So state government loses its executive power over such authority and local administration will carry. No such thing. So state government still exercises executive power. You cannot say that state executive power will not apply here. It will apply. The union government can take over the total administration of such an area under certain circumstances on the recommendations of governor. So in some circumstances, when the area is very backward, the scheduled area का administration directly union government ले सकता है based on the governor's recommendation. Governor recommend करते हैं union government का थोड़ा special provisions देना है area का, इसलिए union government can take over the total administration of such areas. Yes, this can be done, but this cannot be done. So only second statement is correct here. Only second statement is correct here. Second statement था. Next. Again, with reference to India, consider the following page. Organizations दिया था यूनियन मिनिस्ट्री का, पूछ रहा हूं वो लोग. नेशनल ऑटोमोटिव बोर्ड, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री. फायर बोर्ड, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेवी इंडस्ट्री. नेशनल सेंटर फॉर ट्रेड इंफॉर्मेशन, MSME. तीन ऑप्शंस दे दिया था. दे आर आस्किंग which board is correctly matched. Which board is correctly matched? Now look at it. Whenever you are finding out some coir board, cotton board, jute board, tobacco board, always remember जब भी एक एग्रीकल्चरल बोर्ड था लाइक कॉयर, कॉटन, जूट, टोबैको, वो either they will be under Ministry of Commerce or Ministry of Small Industries, MSMEs. This is what we have to remember. Automotive board will be under Ministry of Home Affairs, Heavy Industries. तो Ministry of Heavy Industries में नेशनल ऑटोमोटिव बोर्ड था, फायर बोर्ड MSME का था. नेशनल सेंटर फॉर ट्रेड इंफॉर्मेशन, this will be under Ministry of Commerce. Ministry of Commerce, trade information, Ministry of Commerce था. So what they gave? They gave reverse. National Automotive Board is Ministry of Heavy Industries. Fire Board, MSME. National this board is under Ministry of Commerce. So none of the pairs are correctly matched. So D is correct. Again एक difficult question था exam hall में, but you have to know these type of statements. After this, consider the following statements in the Constitution. Consider the following subjects under the Constitution. So subjects division कहाँ था guys? This is Schedule 7 of Indian Constitution. Discusses about division of different subjects. Article 246 of Indian Constitution says that there will be union list, state list, concurrent list. Union list का जो भी है ये एक्सक्लूसिव पार्लियामेंट का राइट है लॉ मेकिंग का. स्टेट लिस्ट में स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर, कंकरेंट लिस्ट में बोथ कैन मेक द लॉस. दिस इज द थिंग दैट वी हैव. एंड आर्टिकल 248 स्पीक्स अबाउट रेसिड्यूअरी पावर्स. जो भी रेसिड्यूअरी पावर्स है वो पार्लियामेंट की तरफ से लॉ मेक कर सकते हैं. नाउ दे आर आस्किंग लिस्ट 1, they are given some statements and they are asking following subjects under which parts of Indian Constitution. First one is list 1, union list in the 7th schedule. Extent of the executive powers of the state. Conditions of governor's office. जब भी constitutional amendment होना है, when for a constitutional amendment under article 368, if you want to make a constitutional amendment, ratification of legislatures of half of the states is also required with simple majority before the bill is present to the president for how many of the things. So you should remember article 368. This is a very simple question because हर एक serious aspirant article 368 को definitely they would have studied it. As a result, this is very important. Now they are asking which of the following requires article 368 basic amendments, right? If you look at this question, first one, have a look at it. With respect to ratification of legislatures of half of the states is required. यूनियन लिस्ट, जब भी आप यूनियन लिस्ट, स्टेट लिस्ट, कंकरेंट लिस्ट का कुछ अमेंडमेंट कर रहा हूं, उसी समय डेफिनेटली यू हैव टू टेक द परमिशन ऑफ स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर्स आल्सो बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज डिस्टर्बिंग द फेडरल सब्जेक्ट्स और फेडरल रिलेशंस. फेडरल रिलेशंस में जब भी एक कंपोनेंट को आप टच कर रहा हूं, उसी समय डेफिनेटली यू हैव टू टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस. नेक्स्ट, एक्सटेंट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर्स ऑफ द स्टेट. यस, whenever you are changing the executive powers of the state or the central government, definitely you have to take half of the state's permission. Conditions of the governor's office. ये conditions of governor's office simple majority पे हो सकता है. There is no special majority that is required here. So 1 and 2 is important. एक बहुत आसान की क्वेश्चन था ये, very simple question. Provided you remember article 368. 368 रट्टा मारना है सभी लोगों को. So this is one simple thing. Directly they have taken from Article 368 and they have asked this question. Next, with reference to Indian polity, consider the following statements. The governor is not answerable to any court for the exercise or performance of powers and duties of his office. ये है immunities of governor. गवर्नर एंड प्रेसिडेंट का कुछ इम्यूनिटीज है और प्रिविलेजेस है वेयर यू कैनॉट गो एंड आस्क देम टू बी रिस्पांसिबल फॉर एवरीथिंग. जो भी whenever they are working in their office and they have taken a decision, you cannot call the president to the so called court or governor to the court and the court cannot ask for what reasons you have done it. वो मेरा काम था, गवर्नर का काम था, प्रेसिडेंट का काम था, वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, बट यू कैनॉट क्वेश्चन द अथॉरिटी ऑफ द गवर्नर और द प्रेसिडेंट फॉर मेकिंग और टेकिंग ए डिसीजन ऑन इन देयर ड्यूटी. So this is pakka correct. No criminal proceeding shall be instituted or constituted against the governor during his term of office. So whenever governor is holding his office, no criminal proceedings can be constituted or instituted. This is correct. Civil proceedings can be constituted, but he cannot be arrested on any ground. So civil proceedings can be constituted. Criminal proceedings you cannot constitute. This is correct. Members of the state legislature are not liable to any proceedings if any court in respect of anything said or done in the legislature or its committees. ये बहुत important की provision था. What does this mean? If there is an MLA, you should give freedom of speech inside the so-called house. Legislature में freedom of speech होना ही है. Otherwise, if you are saying that if you say something wrong, I am going to arrest you. No. They have complete immunity from any arrest or any liability to go and answer in the court for the actions that they are taking. This is immunities for the so-called MLAs. So this is also an immunity which is provided. Which of the following statements are said to be correct? So very आसान की question था because all these things are correct. So all these statements are correct. So members of state legislatures have that immunity. No criminal proceedings can be constituted. Governor is not answerable to any court. All three are correct. All three are correct. Next question. With reference to India, consider the following statements. How many of the above are established as per the provisions of Constitution of India? सभी लोगों को कुछ provisions तो देखना ही है. Interstate Council, Article 263, very important, and this is a very simple question. Interstate Council, the President shall constitute a interstate council in order to create cooperative federalism between the union governments as well as the state governments and between the state governments. For that sake, you have interstate council. The National Security Council, look at it. National Security Council का provisions कहाँ भी constitution में नहीं था. The Zonal Council is created through States Reorganization Act 1956. So they are statutory institutions. National Security Council भी एक statutory institution था. So one thing is, how many of the above statements are correct? Only one is correct. Only one is correct. Article 361, sorry. The Interstate Council is constituted. National Security Council as well as Zonal Council is through State Reorganization Act and NSC Act. So this is the thing that you have to know. This is the thing that you have to know. So these are the previous year questions that has been asked in the year 2025 from Polity. Now what is your analysis? After looking at this question, there are some simple questions like fundamental rights, fundamental duties, DPSPs, constitutional amendments, immunities of president, immunities of governor, immunities of the state legislatures, legislative members, and then there are very simple questions about the so-called ordinance making powers of the president, ordinance making powers of the governor, how a bill can be passed. These are expected questions in any UPSC prelims, not only 2025, even if you are sitting for 26, 27, जब भी आप if you are writing UPSC exam in your life, these are expected questions. So article 1 से article 395 तक सभी articles को कुछ you should know some information from the constitution, and then you have to also remember preamble. Apart from that, in 2025 they have asked some governance aspects such as the so-called Ministry of Finance का intelligence wings क्या था, investigative wings, जो भी आप you give the term enforcement directorate, DRI or other things. So Ministry of Finance ka some boards they have given which ministry they are present. So these are the questions that are 2 or 3 questions are going off the board of your constitution. and these questions are also in a well expected lines. So this is the thing, this is how you have to analyze the previous year questions, so that if you are doing it consistently for the last 15 years papers, you will be prepared to know where to study for the upcoming prelims. So this is how we will be taking up in our batches. Foundational course में भी ऐसा ही हम लोग will be dealing it. So if you are interested, again we are coming with that. So you can have a look at our series, and you can use this code to join our series. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have for the day. So Sankalp ka program, you can use this, and you can use the code Snehil. Snehil हमारा साथ था, the expert faculty who is dealing the UPSC aspects at Nirnay AS. Right, we'll thank everyone for joining this, and we'll be coming out with the previous year questions of 2024 very soon. Wish you all a very good luck. Take care, and please subscribe to our channel. Bye bye.